So one of the joys of flow rope is when you start to gain enough competency and you know enough different flow patterns that you can start stringing them together. And this is what allows you to go outside and have a 5 or 10 minute flow rope routine that allows you to hit a bunch of different swings, and you don't even have to stop in the middle. So we're going to start like each module of this course is going to culminate with a flow pattern that combines all the flows that you've learned throughout that, like in the last couple of lessons. I'm going to show you how you can put them all together and give yourself like a little flow rope routine. And then we will continue to add to this routine. And at the end, you're going to have like you'll be able to just freestyle in a way that ends up being really fun. So in the last lesson, what we learned was about how, if you're doing a propeller like this, where it's just going around in, revolutions right in front of you, when we reorient our body and turn to the side, note I'm in an underhand pattern when I do this, and then I can come back to the propeller in the middle. And when I turn this way, I end up in an overhand figure of 8 pattern. So from here, and you can watch this and then you can just start following along because you already know all of these swings. We go back to our propeller. And then when I come back into my underhand over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start doing an underhand matador. So I'm going to go 2 on each side and start swinging it that way. So I'm in an underhand matador pattern to the side. And a little tip here, if this is still a little bit tricky for you, is that when you're in the underhand pattern, the flow is being driven by the hand that is underneath. So it's an underhand pattern this way. And then when you're ready, you just go back to the regular figure of 8 and then transition into your propeller. Again, you can stay here for as long as you like. And then we're going to transition into our overhand figure of 8. And now we're going to go to our overhand matador. And as you're practicing this, hopefully your brain is starting to figure this out, that the overhand matador is driven by the hand that is over, the one that's on top. So I'm over. So let the hand that's on top be the one that is leading and driving this pattern. So again, you can stay here for as long as you like. And then when you're ready, come back to the propeller. And now what we're going to do when we go back to our underhand is we're going to do the 3-beat matador. Gives you a chance to practice that. So I can start with just my regular underhand figure of 8. And then when I'm ready, start with the 3-beat pattern. And if you remember, the 3-beat pattern is the one where the underhand scoots back, like that part, and then the overhand goes. So both of your hands are involved in driving the revolutions of the rope in this underhand 3-beat matador. Just like that. So again, you can stay there as long as you like. Come back to the propeller. And now we're going to come over here to our overhand, and we're going to go into the overhand 3-beat matador. And this is the one, again, like both of your hands, you can see from the side that are doing the revolutions. The overhand, this one, stays on the inside, and then it's driven sort of with that wrist. Like watch my wrist there is the one that drives it over to the other side. Just like that. So again, you can stay here as long as you wish. And then when you're ready, come back to the propeller. And we're going to finish off this workout with the overhead figure of 8, the underhand overhead figure of 8. So when we're over in our overhead pattern, and I'm going to open myself up. Again, I love this one for the way that it opens up my chest, your whole torso. You get your rib cage off of your chest or off of your hips, really. And this really allows you to rotate and just move better in all aspects of your life. What I'm doing here is I'm driving with my elbow. So it's elbow up elbow up, and I'm making those big circles with my elbow. So again, you can stay there for as long as you like. Notice that the reason that this was my underhand side and this was my overhand side was because of the direction I was swinging the propeller. If I were to swing the propeller, let's see, in the other direction, right? So this is a clockwise propeller. If I was doing a clockwise propeller, this side would be my underhand side, right? And then this would be my overhand side. And I didn't, because I'm videotaping this, I didn't turn to the other side. But as you're practicing on your own, you can practice turning in both directions. So I highly recommend playing around with that. Another thing you might add that I didn't show you here was the paradiddle pattern. So when you're doing some of the matadors, the 2-beat or the 3-beat matador, if you want to play around a little bit with the paradiddle pattern, you can insert that in there. And again, go for as long or as short as you like, but there's sort of a 5-minute of flow pattern that you can do as a continuous workout on your own to help drill these basic patterns. And then next week we'll move on to some more progressive patterns.